Hello. Ma'am, I'm not able.
You all for the journal writing series session conducted in collaboration with the London Business Year.
Hello.
Today's topic of discussion is, and we have with us Dr. A. Sharatha, Assistant Professor of PG and Research Department of Economics at Tiraj College for Women, to share her thoughts on research article. Dr. Sharatha ma'am has completed her PhD, MBA and MA Economics, and she has attended many workshops and conferences and presented many papers at national and international level. She regularly updates herself by enrolling herself in certificate courses and value-added courses. She has a handful of paper publications in reputed journals, which is listed in UGC. She has been a resource person to various institutions for a workshop on SPSS and on economics association meeting. She is well known for her expertise in SPSS. Madam, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and being here to share your thoughts on how to write a research article in journals. Thank you, ma'am, and over to you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your invitation. Ma'am, I'm extremely sorry for the technical thing happened. So I don't know whether there is some network connectivity issue. I'm not able to share my PPT. If you don't mind, I'll just start with the lecture. Maybe later I can share my PPT to you in the WhatsApp, ma'am. Is it okay, ma'am? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I
okay,
audible?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You are audible, ma'am, and
yes,
it is
thank you,
okay that you share your PPT later.
Fine, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Actually, I just want to share whatever knowledge I have with respect to writing a research article in some reputed journals. So I thought, let me just share whatever I have, what is I have. Basically, I think we all know as a standard what research that no research that is actually studying some problems, some issue, maybe a social issue, or it may be an economic issue or whatever it is. So we'll be finding out what is the issue basically, and for that issue we'll be framing some hypothesis, we'll be framing objective which we want to achieve those objectives, and will be that is a systematic way we'll be collecting the data with respect to that issue, and finally we will do some statistical analysis so that we will be coming out with some
Ma'am, you are on mute, ma'am. Saratha, ma'am, you are on mute.
Ma'am, are you able to hear, ma'am?
Now we can, ma'am.
Hello. Oh, sorry, ma'am. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am, we can
I
hear
think
you.
there's a lot of network issues.
Muting, ma'am. The mic is on mute now. No.
Am I
Yes, ma'am.
audible now, ma'am?
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
I'm
You
sorry,
are
ma'am.
just
Ma'am, actually started. No, from where I was not able to, you are not able to hear me, ma'am?
ma'am, I think you were mute
It is not
from the
muted,
beginning,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Fine, ma'am. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
just start with the beginning. Yeah. Basically, as a staff member, we all know we just want to do a lot of research, and there may be like different reasons why we want to pursue a research. But before going to a research, like we first need to understand what may be a good quality research. See, whenever we are doing a research, that should be a quality one, so that it should be appreciated and it should give some recognition, and it should be useful for the society as well. So that is how it has to be. So when we are doing a good research, we are expected to possess, or we are expected to fulfill certain parameters. Like for example, the purpose, for what purpose you are actually doing that research, and the basic concepts what you're trying to explain in research has to be clearly defined. And of course, the design, how you are going to systematically proceed your research. So that has to be detailedly updated, and that some rules you would like to use in your study, and it has to be mentioned. And finally, the results, whatever you got from your thing research, the findings have to be clearly explained. And of course, the data, whatever you are collecting for the purpose of research, we have to check for its credibility. So the validity and the reliability of the data should also be checked. And all the more, like as a researcher, we are expected to possess some amount of it is a good command over the methodology what we are actually using in our research. And of course, we need to follow certain ethics when we are doing a research. And in general, now my topic, why I have chosen this topic, we all want to publish a paper in this an article in a journal, and most probably we'll be having some doubts whether are we going in the right track, are we publishing in the right journal, or will that pay more, that we'll be having. So I just thought like let's clarify certain things to you. And basically there are different types of articles are there. Like we may be generally we'll be writing formal research article, which is and systematic research article, and then we also write some research notes. We'll be doing reviews, some journals will be asking for viewers. So we can also review the articles given by other researchers, and something called as a data paper that can be given. A data paper is basically again a data that has been published in a reviewed journal. And basically, this data paper will actually give us the recognition. So whatever effort we have taken or write scholarly article will just
Ma'am, your voice got disconnected. Saratha, ma'am, your voice got disconnected.
hello, ma'am. I'm extremely sorry. There's some problem in my side, I think. Hello? Hello, madam. See, we'll be publishing an article. The reason is maybe we may get funding from some reputed sites, like, for example, ICSSR, or if it is a science journal, we'll be getting some fund from other. There are a lot of funding agencies are there. And of course, for promotion's sake, we'll be publishing an article. Mainly recent days, like most of the colleges are now going with the CAS, a promotion thing, and even to increase our API score, okay, academic performance index. So to increase that API score also, we just come forward to publish lot of articles. And when you're writing an article, we are expected to follow a systematic process. Like normally how it will be done is, first you have to choose a topic which you are actually confident enough. So first of all, the topic, we are deciding the topic, and we should know like what amount of knowledge we have in that particular field. So when we have confident in choosing a particular topic, we can go with that. And of course, you have to frame your objectives or your goals. What makes you to do that, pursue that particular research, and what will be your like your primary objective or your secondary objective. So first fix your objective, find your objectives, and fit your objectives. Then based on your objectives, try to collect the data from, of course, some reliable sources. See, we'll be able to get a lot of data. Nowadays, we need not have to go to any library or anywhere. No, like no spending too much of time in collecting data. The secondary data, like we are everything now, it has become online, and we'll be able to get any amount of data or any type of data, whatever we need from the Google search itself. And there are a lot of survey reports we'll be able to get. So one thing we should keep in mind is whether it is a reliable source, because sometimes what happens is some data actually it will be there in net, but it is not actually a genuine data. So we need to know that whether are we getting the data from the reliable source. And once we get the data, then you draft your like how we are going to proceed with your research. So you draft your article, and of course the drafting it is actually a cyclical continuous process. So you'll be drafting, then you will be again checking for revision, then again if any corrections have to be made, that should be done, and again redrafting. So this, till you get a final picture of your research article, you need to do this process unless until you are satisfied. Because see, as a researcher, when we write an article for the first time, we feel like because you have done with the article, but when you go through the article again and again, you yourself, you will find a lot of no corrections you have to make in the article. So that we have to do. And finally, once everything is done, so just present your results. So how you can present your results in any form. It can be a graphical thing form, or in a tabular form you can give, or even you can give with the help of some statistical tools, you can present your findings. And finally, you can go for the publishing process. So when you're doing this work, you are expected to follow a specific structure. Like normally, I think we people will be knowing, like we have done so much of research, and basically when you're writing an article, there is expected certain things that has to be there in that article. Like for example, we should always start an article with an introduction, and in the introduction you try to find out that is give various literature reviews based on your topic. You try to quote a lot of literature reviews, and with the help of the literature reviews, identify your research gap. So for that gap, you try to ask a lot of research questions. So how we are going to fulfill that gap? So what are the research questions? See, we may come across a lot of research questions in our mind. Why, what, where it is done, so many things. So try to find out all the research questions and you frame it and put it in a sequential order. Then you go with the methods, that is a methodology, how systematically you are going to proceed that research. Okay, then give the methodology, what sampling method you are going to use, or how we are going to collect the sample. Are we going to follow a questionnaire, or we are going to follow or any other method? Are we going to give an open-ended or a closed-ended? So different things will come to our mind. So first put it that in a proper order, the methodology. Then once you have done with this, then you go with finding out the answer for all your research questions, which is nothing but applying some statistical tools, and we'll be finding out the results. So these results basically help us, like whether we are able to achieve all our objectives. So we have already in the initial thing itself, we have framed some objectives. Now based on the results, we have to find out whether we are able to fulfill all our research objectives. And finally, you give also your limitations, whatever limitations or constraints you faced when you are writing that article, or when you are collecting the data, okay, or any other with respect to research. So give that limitations, and finally give it open for discussions. The findings and discussions, like always any research, we can't say any research is 100% completed. There will be a gap in any research. So you just open it for further discussion, right? And this is how you will be carrying out an article. So basically, like all of us, we just have want our article to be published in some reputed journals. So what makes you what makes the publishers to accept your journal. So that acceptance, when I say acceptance, what are the things you have to keep in mind when you are writing a journal is first, attention to all the details, like whatever small things, small concepts, small everything, you have to pay a lot of attention. Whatever you are writing, whatever you are giving in your research article, please give your fullest attention to it so that you don't commit any error. Then check and double check your work. See, it is not a one day or a one time process. We have to repeatedly check our article. Only then we'll get a good, a perfect scientific article. Then when you're giving for an article for publication, the reviewer normally they will give some comments or they will just ask us some questions. So you try to consider all the reviewers' comments. And of course, the English, whatever you're going to use in your research article, make it as simple, as good as possible. Don't give any technical jargon. Say to that even a layman should understand when they go through your article. And most important is the presentation. How we are going to present your research article. Are you going to give a systematic presentation? See, there should be some logic that has to be followed when you are presenting your article. So the sequential thing has to be maintained. And of course, take your time when you're doing the revision and acknowledge for whoever helped you. It may be the data, that is the respondents, or it may be your gate, or it may be a co-author, whoever. So try to acknowledge whoever helped you. And also you have to acknowledge for, normally we'll write the bibliography. The bibliography is nothing but we are acknowledging for others, like we have so cited some others references also. So for them, we are giving some acknowledgement. So try to acknowledge for everyone, whoever helped in that research process. Then of course your paper should be original, it should be new, and it should not be previously published. That is very important. And try to critically evaluate your own manuscript. See, we are basically they used to say that as a researcher is a critic by himself. So when you criticize your article, you try to actually rectify those errors, and you try to improvise your article. So always see to that you criticize your article. So whenever you write an article, you put yourself as a reviewer and try to analyze your article, and you try to criticize it and make a note of these criticisms and try to rectify those criticisms. And of course, you need to follow certain ethics. I think you all be knowing, like we need to see to that we are avoiding plagiarisms. And moving to the different types of journals. So what type of journal we normally we want to publish our article? See, there are different types of journals are there. One is actually, we can say, we have the scientific journal, and some journals are limited access journal. Now, what is this limited access journal is? So these are the journals where we have to subscribe. Okay, we need to pay a subscription for it. And there is also some journals called as open access journals. And finally, what we have is the predatory journals. Let me just give a gist of all these type of journals. What is the scientific journal? See, the scientific journal is nothing but a scholarly academic journal, which will actually, we can also call it as a peer-reviewed journal. And this journal, it will actually, if you see, the quality of the journal will be good. And normally, like, experts of the same field, they used to review your article, or they used to criticize or evaluate your article. So the scientific journals are something like, if you publish your paper in a scientific journal, you mean to say that it is something you are submitting, or you are actually publishing a quality journal. And then comes the a limited access journal. So already I have told you, it is a paid subscription journal. And this limited access journal, like for example, Elsevier for that matter, the Scopus, Springer. So these things are actually limited access journals where you need to pay some subscription for publishing your article. We also have another category called as the open access journal. or we can also say it as open access publication. Now, what is this open access journal? Is actually, it is actually free of thing, and it is freely available for use. Anyone can actually publish their article in this. And this again, we have the two different types of open access. One we normally say the green open access, another one is the gold open access. Now, what is this green open access is, see, once you publish your article, there won't be any additional charges which will be asked by the publisher for publishing your article. So whatever you pay initially, that's it. We don't need to pay any additional processing charges. Whereas this gold open access is something like which will normally come under the you would have heard of the Creative Commons license. So this gold open access will come under the Creative Commons license, and of course it is also a peer-reviewed journal. But the thing is, here we need to pay the processing charges. So whenever you want the article to be published, you are expected to pay some processing charges. Then the next thing what we have is the predatory journals. See, recent days, actually, there are a lot of predatory journals are coming into existence. And these journals is basically, we can say it is a substandard journal or a low quality journal. Sometimes it may be even a fraudulent journal. And see, these journals, normally what they do is, they will try to get more amount or more cost from the authors for publishing their article. And of course, we may be in a hurry to publish our article, and sometimes we don't even mind paying those money, whatever they ask for publication charge. But actually speaking, these journals, they actually lack credibility, and it is better to avoid publishing in a predatory journal and always prefer for a peer-reviewed journal. So this peer-reviewed journal, for example, as I told you, you can try with Elsevier, you can try with Springer or Cambridge University Press, and a lot of peer-reviewed journal are there. And these peer-reviewed journal, there are different types of it. Like for example, we have a single blind review, they'll say, and double blind review, they'll say, triple blind review. What is this single blind? What is this double blind means? So single blind or something like the authors, they actually you will write an article and you will send to the publisher. That's it. Okay, and you don't know actually who are the reviewers or who is actually reviewing your article. And of course, this is a conventional method that is being in practice. And here. But the other side, if you see the reviewers, they know all the credentials about the author, right? And moving to the double blind review, see, this double blind review is something like neither the author nor the reviewer, they don't know each other. That is, your identity is no way disclosed to the reviewer or to the editor, fine? And they just an article will be sent and they will be reviewing it and they'll give their comments. So based on their comments, the corrections will be carried out, and again you'll be going for, that is the first appraisal will be done. Then after the corrections is done, they'll be going for and it will sometimes it may even go 2-3 appraisals also. So finally the journal will be published in that article will be published in that journal. The triple blind review is something where the author's identity is actually, it is not disclosed to both the reviewer as well as the editor. And this will be there till the first appraisal. So till that time, it will be kept blind. That is, our identity will not be disclosed. Later on, like once first appraisal is done, once the reviewer give their comments, once you carry out those comments, those corrections, then you will be knowing to whom you are actually addressing. The next thing what we have is an open peer review. So when I say open peer review, which is actually, we have now recent days we have a lot of open access journals. So these open access journals are actually it is open to everybody. Anyone can publish. So nowadays actually people are coming forward for self-publication also. You need not have to go and approach a particular journal as such. there are some publishing companies which will actually come forward to publish your article. There again, it is our lookout to find out whether it is a peer-reviewed journal, because always it is preferred to publish an article in a peer-reviewed journal. So this is something called as a open review journal or open peer-reviewed journal. And normally, once we publish an article, there will be some bibliogrammatic parameters or indicators will be there, like something called as the indexing, then impact factor, and all those aspects. So what is this indexing? So indexing is based on, we used to see that Google Scholar we used to find out, and no Scopus Index. So these indexing, what normally it is nothing but it is a benchmark actually. And with this yardstick, it is actually used as a measuring yardstick. And with this, we can find out what is the quality of the journal. So normally, when you have a higher scientific quality, it is a higher index journal, then it is treated as a higher scientific quality. In the sense, like it is a very good quality journal, a standard journal, where we can definitely publish our article compared to the non-index journals. And here, sometimes we will find out with the citation index. See, the citation index is basically like how many times an article is actually cited by different people or different researchers. So we, based on that cited thing, that is, we normally say that the cited article, it is treated as a source, and the article, the citing article will be as a source, and the cited article will be used as a reference. Like for example, you will be giving some bibliography, that is, you will be acknowledging something, you will be citing some references in your article, and those we normally call it as a reference, because we are already it is being cited in our article, so that they are called as the cited article. So that is the reference. Citing article is our article. We are writing that article, and our article, whatever article we are writing, that may be visited or cited by other reviewers or other persons. So that is actually a citing. The number of times your article is being cited by many people, your citation index will increase. Right? Then the impact factor. So normally we know, like, whenever we come forward to publish a research journal, we always look into the what is the impact factor the journal has got, because higher the impact factor that the journal is having, then again we used to say that it is a very good quality journal. And it is also a measuring tool to evaluate the type of journal basically. And with this, there is actually some difference between this impact factor and the site score. See, normally how they'll calculate this impact factor is, suppose assume that you they normally take the 2 time periods. So in the 2 time periods, like for example, if you are writing an article, and 2012 that one article will be there, and 2013 you will be having one article, you have written one article. So these 2 time periods they will take, and based on this they will calculate your impact factor, individual impact factor. Site score, normally they will take the 3 years time period. So that is the difference between the site score and the impact factor. And the site score, actually, it is normally it is used for the Scopus data, whereas the impact factor is based on the Web of Science. I don't know how many of you are aware of this Web of Science and Scopus Index. See, this Elsevier, Springer, all these things comes under the Scopus data, nothing but the peer-reviewed journal. So that it will come under the Scopus Index. And Web of Science, again, it is a peer-reviewed journal, which will actually the articles which are not indexed in Scopus will be there in the Web of Science. And we also have a Google Scholar citation. This will also help you to cite your article in the Google Scholar. Like as an individual, we can create our own profile in Google Scholar, and we can just publish all our articles in the Google Scholar, so that When others that just open the Google Scholar, they'll just, so more number of citations increases, our citation index will actually, is for our journal, it will be increased. Fine. And next, I just want to tell you, like normally we come forward for the UGC CAR list, because nowadays, like even to get a gate shape or no, even to increase our API score, we are more concerned about publishing the journal or article in a UGC CAR list. So this UGC CAR list, actually, we have the two groups, group 1 and group 2 will be there. So certain journals will come under group 1 and certain journals will come under group 2. Basically, this UGC CAR, that is, it's actually called as the University Grants Commission, the Consortium for Academic and Research Ethics. Recently, UGC CAR, it has been given, that is, a publication ethics has been given to the Savitribai Phule Pune University. If you just go in Google and if you just type UGC CAR, it will take you to the site of Savitribai Phule Pune University. Now, the publication ethics, that is, it is actually now the UGC CAR list journals, that is the selection and removal of any journal. It is under the Pune, Savitribai Pune University. And under their supervision only, that is, they have an empowered committee. So with the help of the committee and with the help of the consortium, they'll just come forward with the publication of the UGC CAR list journals, whether in group 1 or group 2. Fine. And why this UGC CAR is there is, see, basically why we want to publish our article in UGC CAR, because it will actually give us a confidence that we are going for a quality research. And there again, we need to check whether are we publishing in the right journal, because there are a lot of cloned journals or the, what do you mean by cloned journal is, see, the same title, same journal name, everything will be there, but it is a duplicate version of that. Sometimes what will happen is we may not be sure that whether we are publishing in a reputed genuine journal or in a clone journal. And that can be easily find out. If you just open the UGC CAR website, he himself will give you like how to go with that clone journal, and it is, of course, it is free of cost. You can also register. See, all these things, whether you want to register in Scopus or you want to register in WebOps, see, you just have to create a login ID at Google Scholar or whatever it is. You have to create your profile and you can index all your articles in that Scholar or your Scopus, so that when people come forward through your articles, your citation index will increase for your article. And already I've told you about the predatory journal. The predatory journal is basically like we have to be very careful when we are going with this predatory journal. That is, the publication practices or whatever, they don't have the transparency system. Sometimes they will be charging a high cost, and of course they will just give you can easily find out, they'll give some misleading information. Okay, sometimes most commonly we'll be getting on our mail IDs also. A lot of publishers, they'll just send their that is you can publish your article in 2 days time. You can just send your article, we will be publishing it, there's no publication charge. So some catchy things they just send to us, and we will be like tempted and we'll just publish our article in that. But actually we have to be very careful before going to that type of journal. So what we, as a researcher, what we are supposed to do is first check whether that journal is being listed in UGC CAR. If it is listed, then you can go for, that is, you can just go forward. Otherwise, if it is not there, better avoid publishing an article in the that type of journals, whatever we get from other sources. See, always you select a journal from a genuine source or a reliable source. Maybe you can, if you just go to UGC CAR, there itself, it will give you a lot of, the journals that is being available. You can select it based on the title or based on the topic what you want to present, or no, like you normally you can even give a keyword on that. So based on that keyword also, it will just list you a lot of articles. So with that also we can go with a lot of publications. So these are all the different things. And if you have, I thought like I can show you how to open this Google Scholar and all those things. Let me just give a try whether I'm able to get into the link now. If possible, I can share my PPT and I can just show you how to go and search for the journal in either in UGC Care, how to go with Google Scholar, select journals in publishing, all those information. I think I'm getting it. Meanwhile, if you have any others, we can just clarify ours. Hello, ma'am.
Recording in progress.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I think I've joined in net. Hopefully, it should be there. Yes, ma'am. Are you able to see me? I'm there in the. I think I can share my screen.
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Sharata A.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I just share my screen. I just want to show you like how to. Am I there?
Yes, ma'am. You can do it, ma'am. Technical assistance, can you make Dr. Sharata A as co-host,
Fine.
please? Ma'am, you have left. Sharata, ma'am, you have left, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you just share the PPT through mail itself, ma'am.
Shall I just forward it, ma'am? Can you just share that PPT?
You have forwarded to me.
Shall I forward it to you, ma'am?
Ma'am, I shall just make, ma'am, you just, because it is almost time.
Okay, fine, ma'am. Fine. Then I will just
Also
forward
over.
it to
You
you,
just
ma'am.
mail me. Yes, ma'am. You just sum up and because the faculty members will have their classes also.
Okay, no issues, ma'am. No issues.
Okay.
If you have any questions, you can just raise, ma'am. Otherwise, we can wind up. That's not a problem.
Participants, if you have any queries, you can just post it on the chat box. Participants, do you have any query? Ma'am, as such, there is no query in the chat box, ma'am. Requesting Priya to formally propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to propose the vote of thanks for today's session. I would like to thank the Almighty for making today's session a success. I extend my gratitude to our speaker, Ms. Sharada, for taking the time to be a part of the FDP series on journal writing and for sharing her knowledge and insights. I thank all the participants who have taken the time out to attend today's session. A big thank you to our secretary and our associate secretary for their constant guidance and support. My special thanks to our principal and vice principal for giving us the encouragement we always need. Last but not the least, I would like to thank Dr. S.T. Dipa, our technical team, and our internal training team for all their support and coordination. Once again, I thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharada ma'am, for sharing
Thank you,
your
ma'am.
thoughts.
Sorry, ma'am.
Thank
Sorry
you.
for all the technical glitches. I'm not able to. I don't know whether I have justified it, but I will forward that PPT and all the other links to you, ma'am.
That's okay, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Participants can fill up your feedback link to receive your e-certificate.